Hi there, welcome back to the empathy series. We have been dealing with a lot going about empathy. What is empathy? Why do you need empathy? We also looked at what was Raju's learning and how that connected with our whole scheme of things. Raju, of course, learned, if you have gone through my previous video, that even a three legged puppy, the cutest puppy which had only three legs, could be so happy, and he empathized with the puppy and he learned how to be happy in spite of his disability of not having a leg. That was his learning. Empathy can do that. It can bring joy to a disabled boy. It can bring joy to a disabled house. It can bring joy into broken homes. It can bring joy to broken hearts. That is what empathy does. So how do we do this? So how do we actually practice empathy? How are there any tips as to how to practice empathy and always be that empathetic person with our loved ones? See, we always are on the lookout. Even if you are not the kind of person who professes very openly that you are the extrovert, you are the person who's the agony aunt in the family or in a friend circle or whatever. Nevertheless, believe me, deep down somewhere, we all want the definition of being a problem solver. Okay, what better problems to solve than the emotional ones, which are very hard to actually break? Right? So, empathy actually is a big step if you are getting where I'm coming from. So, today I'm going to give you three tips as to how to become a more empathetic person. Tip number one. Tip number one is whenever you feel that you need to empathize with someone, or practically all the time, but it so happens in my experience, I can tell you that this doesn't occur to us unless we consciously make it a habit. Until such time, make sure that whenever you are having a one-on-one conversation with somebody, it might be anybody. Okay, you're having a conversation one-on-one, or there are a small group of people where something that is troubling somebody is being discussed, or something confidential is being discussed. Make sure you are the person who makes the environment safe. How to make it safe? Fire extinguisher, big door, put automatic, electronic locks. No, that's not the kind of safety we're talking about over here. It's not a physical safety. Make sure you portray to the other people involved in the conversation that you are a safe person to discuss these things with. That whatever you hear or say will be within your closeted group, and you will not breach that protocol of leaking the information out, even if it's by chance, even if it's inadvertently. So make sure you make it a safe environment. So do you say these things explicitly, like a rule saying that, hey, don't worry, I'm not going to give out your secret to anybody, or or you give them subtle hints that other people have confided in you, and you have managed to actually give them a solution. You are a trustworthy person. See, actions speak louder than words, and people like to trust people who are like them, whom they feel are more trustworthy. So make sure you are the person they want to interact to. So that was tip number one. Make the environment safe. Tip number two, become a people watcher. What did I say? Yeah, people watcher. Keep looking out for people. Don't stare. Don't look at somebody for a long time that you'll be mistaken for something else. You know what I'm meaning, right? Yeah. Become a people watcher. Start paying attention to all those subtle hints that people drop in a conversation, or even without a conversation, like through body language. Are the shoulders drooped? Are the lips spouting out? Do they have a, the smiley is going in the reverse? Are they conveying anything else through their eyes? Are their hands closeted? Are they a close person? Do they have any kind of barriers in interacting with you? Start looking for these subtle hints during body language. In my series about body language, I'm going to cover this in detail. But if you start noticing any of these negative traits, you know how to get them to open up. You should know how to get them to open up. Strike a friendly conversation that they become interested in. Now, how to do that? Don't start a conversation that you want. See, you want them to open up, right? So start a conversation from them. Now, you don't know what is the exact thing that they want to say, but I'm sure you can always strike up a mutually safe kind of topic. It might be about work, it might be about their family, generally, hey, no, how's your mom doing? It rained very badly yesterday near my house. My 8-year-old son was a delight yesterday at the party and he was not fussy at all. Some random conversation that will, get the juices flowing, that they'll open up. People usually do with these random conversations which they feel is safe, and gradually you can lead them on to the exact problem. And you will be an empathetic person by doing this. All right? Tip number 3. So that was tip number 2. Now we move on to tip number 3. In the previous videos, I had mentioned about self-awareness and self-management, about asking your kith and kin, people who stay around you, to help you in noticing, how you're behaving in certain parts of the conversation, the daily routine. The same thing applies for empathy as well. Let them know that you are practicing empathy. You want to be an empathetic person and take help from them. I'm 100% sure there's not a person in the world who will not be willing to help if it is going to make you a better person. So ask them, do you think I hear out your problems better? Use the same words. Do you think I'm being of any help to you or somebody else by behaving in this way, by posing my questions in this way, by reacting to them or responding to them in this way? These are the kind of questions. Use the words service, help. Can you help me? When these are magical words which make people feel exalted, like they are in a power position and they can actually help you, which they are in actually. They are in a position where they can observe you over a period of time during your conversations, during your interactions with other people, and can help you out. So make a log of these things. Ask people to give you 360-degree feedback around you, and you will be one step closer to become an empathetic person. So those were our 3 tips for today about how to practice empathy. In the next video, I'm going to be coming along with 3 more tips. I'm very excited about that. So for today's 3 tips, just a reminder. The third one was, ask for feedback from people. The second one was, what was the second one? Go back to the video and see what was the second one. And the first one was, make it a safe environment. Make it a safe environment. Okay. So knowing the second one is a part of the homework for you guys. All right. So make sure you practice these 3 tips. I'll give you a couple of days to get into your system so that you can start noticing people and start practicing this. And I'll come back in a couple of days with 3 more tips about empathy. Until then, this is Dr. Prashant signing off in this series about empathy. I'm the proud father of an 8-year-old son who's very creative. I have a very supportive wife and I have a very inspiring set of parents. This is Dr. Prashant signing off on this series about empathy. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.